Some things need to be set straight when it comes to this whole matter of having unsecure borders, the threat associated with it. Some people, a very large number of people in America, actually do not believe that's a threat. And they believe that if you think it's a threat, that you're some kind of a racist, some kind of a xenophobe. Well, I'm going to show you where that comes from, and I'm going to show you why they're wrong. And I have posted something, just a little joke about the lack of security on our border on a Facebook, my Facebook page, and I have friends from many other communities, and I was eviscerated by these individuals who went so low as to attack my family, which they know nothing about, and myself, and with untrue allegations. So I'm going to lay it out here, and I'm going to show, for the benefit of all, what these risks are and that they're real, and they have nothing whatsoever to do with xenophobia, racism, or NAIism, as they like to accuse. They shoot from the hip, make low shots, and they're wrong, because that's not the basis of it. It's got a basis for many of us in wanting security and not to see our nation eviscerated. But they don't understand the threat. They really don't, because there are certain sources they go to for news that are, watch this, guys. You're not going to, some of you aren't going to believe this. Of course, some of you are probably a part of this thought process. So I hope we get some education going here, and so you can see where some of us come from. And I was asked to document, post articles. Well, I don't want to spend all day posting articles on Facebook, so I'm going to put it here the way I do things. I'm going to show the articles because I can do them here a lot more expediency. So here we go, guys. We're going to start with from whence they come. I always tell you to put on the rose-colored glasses to try to see where the others come from. And that's how we're going to start here. This article, which claims Fox News fear mongers about Chinese asylum seekers with xenophobia and baseless theories of drug smuggling and spying. Baseless theories of drug smuggling and spying. And this comes from, well, I guess it wouldn't surprise some of you, Media Matters. Oh, yeah. For America? Are they really for America? Who funds this? Well, of course, George Soros. Of course, they also on this, you can also find one of their Media Matters sites on George Soros telling you what a great, wonderful guy he is. Because, of course, he's put a lot of money into Media Matters. Of course they would. But even this is so bad that even media sources on their side of the spectrum has had to admit some of the things that I'm about to make a case for. So here we go. Let's rock and roll. Number of people on the T list stopped at southern border has risen. And who's this from? NBC News. That's not Fox News. Interesting. So far in the year 2023, now when was this published? Anyway, so far, so this was sometime last year, and we know that that number was actually higher. 160 migrants whose identities match those on the list have been stopped trying to cross the U.S. border, compared to 100 in 2022. Okay, that looks like an increase. Now, yeah, by the way, it only takes a handful to take down our power grid, as I've often talked about in my videos, how just 9 critical substations could take our whole grid down. And that's a lot more serious than most people comprehend. I've got lots of videos that talk about that. So there's many things that could be done with just a few people. So why, if you want to do damage and hurt to this country, do you need so many people? And oh yeah, by the way, what we worry about the most is the ones that they didn't catch, because we know the tactics of the cartels is that when they want to get somebody in, when they really want to get somebody across the border, they sneak them in through other areas because they're flooding the main areas of so many people that the Customs and Border Patrol has got their hands full. They can't go chasing down every little venue. But let's go on. Let's go further into this here. But this is NBC and even ABC, foreign, again, that T word. And why do I say this? It's because we have such a freedom of speech on this platform. I get slapped if you use certain words. Targeting U.S. Increasingly concerns FBI director. Of course, he's the guy who's been telling us that the main problem was lone wolves from the right side of the equation here in this country. Really? Well, he's had to come out and admit this, because if he doesn't, he's going to have a lot of egg on his face here real soon. Apparently, I don't know. So, but warning comes as experts predict ISIS will try to carry out a what? An attack where? Yeah, here in the U.S. You just kind of read what I'm highlighting. I got to be careful how I say this stuff because, the people on the other side of the spectrum don't realize the trouble you have in social media in this country when you try to tell anything other than their tell, even when you're quoting their sources. Anyway, foreign adversaries and T groups are sharpening their aim at the United States. And of course, they talk about the cyber. They like to talk about that because that is going on. We know that. But when you're talking about the A word right here, the attack side of it, you're not talking about cyber. Oh, yeah. ISIS likes to be hands-on. Oh, quit showing these stupid videos. That'll get me in trouble. Anyway, so at the American Bar Association luncheon in Washington, D.C., Ray said the agency is working to prevent a coordinated attack. Yeah, from these T groups such as ISIS-K, an affiliate of ISIS. And what did he say? I'm going to have to quote him directly. Foreign, including ISIS, Al-Qaeda, and their adherents, have renewed calls for attacks against Jewish communities here in the United States and across the West in statements and propaganda. It's not just the Jewish communities we're talking about attacking, by the way. Foreign T threat and the terrorist, I'm using that word as a proxy, you know what I mean, even quoting. And the potential for coordinated attack here in their homeland, like ISIS-K attack we saw at the Russian concert hall a couple of weeks ago, is now increasingly a concern. And he also references the October 7th event and the conflict that following that will feed a pipeline of radicalization and mobilization for years to come. Now, just how are these people getting folks inside this country, by the way? Do they just does somebody just water the ground and they just pop up like weeds? I think not. Yeah, we may have some that are self-generated here. Yeah, people can get converted over, but we'll see. We have this going on. Capito says 169 migrants on the T list. This is the ones that caught and identified. So far, 169 individuals on that list tried to cross the southern border in the United States. That's according to U.S. Senator Shelley Moore Capito. Okay, well, there's other sources for that too. So, yeah, this is her website here. But, bing, 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 bing. Cato Institute. Illegal border crosses on the terror watch list released by Border Patrol apprehended later. What do we know? And this one was published in February of this year, 2nd of February. The Border Patrol has apprehended 342 who were on the screening data set, also known as the T watch list since 2017. But most of those shot up recently, 169 in fiscal year 2023, which ended in September, right at the end of September. I think the 1st of October is when the next fiscal year starts, if I recall correctly. Anyway, I could be off a month. It's been a while since I dealt with the federal budget. So there you go, guys. So there is something to be concerned about. It only takes a few. And I've shown this in other videos when I've talked about the threat to our power grid, our critical infrastructure, our dams. We got to worry about our water supply. It only takes a few bad apples, just a few. That's why we need to screen people. That's my take. I'm not anti-immigration. I'm anti having everything wide open and not screening and vetting people. That's what I've said a zillion times. Anyway, these T folks will have an even better year if Congress doesn't step up with real legislative solutions. The numbers are horrifying. It says here, of course, again, they give it 169 members of the T list, and that's 10 times more than many potential. That's 10 times more. That's more than 10 times as many potential T folks as the Border Patrol detained in the 4 years prior or before Biden took office. These sympathizers to this may be evil, but they're not stupid. They know they can blend in with the masses at the border unnoticed. Now, I'm not arguing that most of the people coming across the border may not be a problem. I never argued that. And I'm not anti-immigration. I'm for controlled legal immigration. If we need more people because we need more workers, we should adjust for it. If we have true people that are seeking asylum, there should be a process, a legal process established to make that work correctly. But a lot of people are being taught, and this is a fact. We know this is going on. They're being taught how to answer questions so they can look like they're asylum seekers. What's asylum seekers? Asylum seekers are people that are fleeing persecution for political and religious purposes. A lot of these people are coming across because they want economic opportunities. Now, I can understand why some people want economic opportunities, but there should be a process for that, and a process that allows us to properly vet these individuals. You know, we got people coming across with tuberculosis and all kinds of stuff, and other things cross the border, like fentanyl. How does fentanyl get in the United States from Mexico? They just have a teleporter from Star Trek. They beam from one side to the other, right? It's got nothing to do with the open border. If you go back to Media Matters, geez, come on, guys, let's wake up. And this is, these, I'm showing you stuff. This is a Homeland Security House Committee here. Border sector chiefs confirm operation impacts of border chaos, increased gotaways. These are ones they didn't catch. Closed checkpoints and empowered cartels. Now, this is a government, so I can read this directly and not have to worry about getting a copyright strike. So it says, this is the chairman of the House Homeland Security Committee here that I'm quoting from, by the way. Mark Green is his name. So I know him because I know of him because I actually had a paper brief to him that I wrote myself on the threat of balloons as EMP platforms, which I know a lot about because I've watched a lot of balloons with rockets on them and things like that. I understand that explicitly. I fear the extent of the threat posed by the record number of gotaways on Secretary Mayorkas's watch won't be clear until it's too late. The number of individuals apprehended illegally crossing the southwest border and found to be on the T watch list has increased 2,500% from fiscal years 2017 to 2020. What happened after 2020? Who took office? Yeah, for the fiscal to the fiscal year 2023, and those are only who we've caught. Chairman Green further said, how many others have slipped by the Border Patrol agents? How many others have slipped by as Border Patrol agents have increasingly been pulled off the line to process illegal aliens crossing the border? How many violent criminals and gang members are now at large in our communities? Border security is national security, and right now the border is not secure. When upwards of 2 million people have entered our country whom we know nothing about, we are at deadly risk. Secretary Mayorkas must be held accountable for this national security malpractice. Of course, what is Secretary Mayorkas in charge of? Supposedly the Department of Homeland Security. I have dubbed it Department of Homeland Insecurity, because you would think the Department of Homeland Security would be all about securing America. Apparently not. Apparently not. So, this article goes on and on and on, and but I'm just going to show you some other stuff in here because I'm trying to vet sources. This is an official government site. And here's another one. This is some Customs Borders Patrol. This is their website here. CBP Enforcement Statistics. This is a federal agency, not a political agency. This is not House, Senate, or any of that stuff. And if you go in here, you can see the numbers for the fiscal years: field office operations, total encounters, U.S. Border Patrol encounters, total enforcement actions, Of course, fiscal year 24 was just getting started when this was published. So yeah, so the fiscal year, it does end at the end of September. That's what I was saying. And you can see these numbers are very high. You can see them going up. So this is something to be concerned with. This is not something I'm making up. And this is from the Department of Justice. Yeah, the U.S. Department of Justice, believe it or not. Cross-border criminal activities. Gang members increasingly conduct criminal activity across the U.S., Mexico, and U.S. Canadian borders. Now, if the borders were closed, they couldn't do that either, right? Gangs smuggle drugs, firearms, and aliens across U.S., Mexico, and U.S. Canadian borders. The NDTS revealed that most gang-related criminal activity along the U.S.-Mexico border occurs in South Texas and California. Several regional and national, Texas is trying to shut that down. Several regional, and then they're being fought for doing it by the federal government. Several national level gangs operate in the Del Rio, Eagle Pass, Laredo, and Lower Rio Grande valleys across areas of South Texas. Street and prison gangs such as, I don't know how to pronounce that, Mexicanami, I don't know, Texas Mexican Mafia, Tri-City Bombers, well, it just goes on and on. But, you know, this is the gist of it. I mean, where does MS-13 come from? How do they get in the States? I mean, come on, guys. And yet I get attacked and said it's all xenophobia. Guys, I do not believe in racism. I'm absolutely against it because I have a multiracial family. Crisis in California. Hamas-style attack could happen to us. Border mayor warns as migrant surge continues. Yeah, this is some Fox News, but they're citing California officials here. This is not some journalist making this stuff up. He is citing El Cajon, however you say, I don't know how to say it. Anyway, mayor. Now the J won't be pronounced as a J. But anyway, so and congressional candidate Bill Wells, that another 9/11 style attack or something we've never seen before could happen. I don't think it's out of the question to believe that a Hamas style attack that happened on October 7 can happen to us. So I am citing a government official talking. That's fair game to cite. Now this is CBS News. See, this they've had to bring Chinese migrants with some help of TikTok, and it's been documented, all the assistance they're getting and guidance they're getting, telling them how to take every step to get in the United States, have become the fastest growing group trying to cross the U.S. border, southern border. And you see a lot of military-aged young men and women, mainly men, coming across that border. But it gets deeper than that. I got nothing against Chinese people. I've dated some. And furthermore, I love Chinese people. But you know, and I've been a big supporter of Taiwan. If anybody hadn't noticed, Taiwan's also Chinese and national and ancestry, ethnically. It's just they have a love of freedom. I'm sure the people in China do too, but that love of freedom is capped by the CCP. Anyway, Chinese illegal alien bound for U.S. foreigners, Chinese spies embedded in America. So this comes from a Chinese illegal alien down here, laying it out. Interesting. Nah, he can't know what he's talking about. He's coming across the border. He don't know nothing about it. No, not at all. Jeez. And even NBC News has covered this. Don't like Fox News to me. FBI Director Ray says scale of Chinese spy in U.S. blew me away. The FBI opens new China-related counterintelligence investigation every 12 hours on average, and now it has over 2,000 such cases. Wow. Oh, it didn't really matter, said spy. What? They said the spying was just a fantasy. What? Look here. Basis theories of drug smuggling and spying. Interesting. Interesting. See, but I guess this might be on NBC News, but it must not be the headline. I don't know. Maybe they covered so many other things that this gets it's down in the noise getting drowned out. I don't know. What is going on there? Why is there so many people are buying into the Media Matters take on this stuff? That's what I ran into in spades. Anyway, Trojan horse at the southern border, malign CCP infiltration. According to America First Policy Institute. Reporting indicates that most illegal aliens coming from the southern border, including Chinese nationals, this says are not fleeing persecution and therefore do not qualify as asylum seekers under U.S. law. Of course, they may be hunting economic opportunity, but you don't get out of China without permission. Especially these people are aided. They're told every step to take along the way on their little TikToky apps. However, they're being released into American communities. The CCP's antagonism toward the U.S. and its ability to coerce any of its citizens into intelligence works presents unique need for U.S. security at its borders and implement deterrence policies against illegal immigration. NTD. Investigator claims Chinese spies migrate to the U.S., citing physical build, military-trained accents, and unusually deep pockets. Oh, yeah, they're coming here with money. Now, this is Michael Yon. And if anybody's been following Michael Yon, you would know that he's a prior military man. What he's saying is that the Chinese military has some characteristic accent. I don't know. But he's also said a lot of these people have customs and training, and they perform rituals when they come into the country that he's seen, which are customary for the Chinese military members. He has followed these individuals from South America all the way up through Mexico, and even when they got here in the United States. And what he's reported is after they get here in the United States, they're real fast to wind up on a range somewhere practicing bang skills. Somehow they get the means to do that real quick. Is that a little concerning to some people? I don't know. Why is that so important to them? Combat correspondent Michael Yon has been tracking. There's some video in there, I think, that actually shows. Let's see here. Just going across.
From the Mayorkas came there and.
Oh, I don't want to play the sound. Cut the sound, because it might get me in deep kimchi here. I think somewhere in here there's some. I don't know. I'm gonna stop it. I think there's some stuff showing the trail on that. Anyway. Supposedly this guy's got his bangs with him. He's in a camp just come across. Does he look like he might be military age? And then here is some of the video of these guys practicing their skills with high-powered smoke poles with scopes on them. Just about as soon as they come in the country. Why do they need that? I don't know. Why such emphasis on seeking that before they get their basics covered, like home, housing, career? I don't know. Chinese spies could be using the southern border to get into the U.S., top Republican warns. Of course, like, that's a Republican. It can't be true. That's what the other side would say. Really? Of course, There wasn't no drugs coming across. What did Media Matters say? Basis theories of drug smuggling and spying. You know what? In the year 2020, in the year 2022, we lost 100. I hadn't seen the numbers for 2023. We lost 107,000 Americans to this, and we're still losing people. See, one of the things that gets me is I had a young man that worked for me off and on as a laborer. He got kind of in, but he kind of got into some stuff he shouldn't have been into, and he tried to go straight. He went clean. His mom died. He had a relapse. He made a mistake. He took something. He does not exist any longer. He is in the ground. Young man. So this is personal. It's hit close to home. Illicit fentanyl and drug smuggling at the U.S.-Mexican border. That stuff isn't beamed in with a teleporter. And if it was, where would it be beamed from? We know, and I've shown in other videos, where even Chinese banks at the top level, Chinese national banks are backing this. This is coming out of Chinese companies that are controlled by the CCP, by the way. And Biden is supposedly begging with Xi Jinping to shut this down. Let's cut this down. Let's cut it down. And Xi Jinping, oh yeah, and just keeps it going. Interesting. There's a way to stop it. Close the border. Mexico's suing the United States for weapons being purchased by those gang members and taken back to Mexico and the United States. He's suing gun stores. They wouldn't have that problem if the border was closed. It works two ways. It would help everybody. You know, if we cut off the supply of money that the cartels use, then they wouldn't be terrorizing the citizens of Mexico the way they do in all of Central America. The people down there suffer mightily at the hands of these cartels, and we're getting it up here in too much numbers also. Data against drug seizures at the U.S.-Mexican border by pounds seized are trending down. The good news is a closer look can be misleading. Seizures of heavier, less potent drugs like Mary Jane are down, while illicit fentanyl, a drug 100 times more potent than morphine, is up significantly. See, that's the one I worry about, not the Mary Jane. It's the stuff that's going to kill people. 480, oops, I used a K word, 480% higher at the southern border in fiscal year 2023 compared to 2020. Oh, we're going back to 2020 again. Interesting. Well, here's numbers by year from 2020 up. Look, see, it's just going up, 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 up. So imagine, we know that when it was this number, 14,700 pounds were apprehended. What missed getting apprehended? It's a question because a lot of it did, or else it wouldn't have been missing 107,000 Americans, which is twice the number from 1 year. Almost twice the number was taken out by the entirety of the Vietnam War. And look, 2023, we see that number has multiplied very significantly. Look, it's like doubling every year roughly. So what's 2024 going to like? How many people did we lose in 2023? I'm not seeing the stat on that yet. Jeez. But I do know someone who's no longer with us as a result of that. So it just goes on and on. But baseless claims about drugs, according to Media Matters. Customs and Border Patrol, America's front line against fentanyl. Well, they're trying, but their hands are full. See, guys, this is what you got to see. That little amount right there, that little speck is a fatal dose. That little speck right there is a fatal dose. So it don't take tons to do great damage. So something much smaller than that, maybe a few little grains of that, puts people into whatever kind of head spin I guess they want to get into. Jeez. See, they often, what they do is they take other drugs and they lace this into them. People think they're taking something else and they're getting this. They don't even know what they're getting or how much is in it or how it's been spliced. Jeez, it's a huge, huge risk. Would we allow that with other stuff in this country? The gang's all here thanks to Biden's open border, according to the Daily Signal. You see this guy? He crosses the border and just walks in. I mean, these are all gang markings. They're tattooed their gang markings on themselves. Sometimes they have special tattoos for the gangs they're in, usually. And yet, it's just come on in. Come on in. And we give them aid, financial aid on top of all that. I look at the very real threat of border gangs to the U.S., cross-border gangs. Guys, are you going to tell me there's no gangs in this country? Are you going to tell me there's no gangs crossing the border? That's what Media Matters may be insinuating. That's what some of the comments I got seem to insinuate. This is not a problem. So, paper presents, there's a paper, an overview of the threat posed by cross-border gangs to the United States in the areas of drug smuggling, human smuggling, this gang of crows word, and the response by the United States. Yeah, there's a paper you can access through here. Another Custom Border Patrol.gov website. This is an official government website. Migrants with criminal backgrounds arrested after illegal entry into the United States. So there's criminals. There's people on the watch list. There is drugs crossing. Baseless claims. I can't repeat all this on this platform. The migrants, innocents, like for instance, Latham Riley was many other cases been cited too, guys. Crisis in California. Yeah, I think I already. This is another article on that story. Yikes, guys! And have you not heard of the squatters, targeting luxury homes and whatever else they can get into? Including this one got burnt down. Preposterous Mayorkas employed after John Kennedy confronts him with border data. I don't know. I hadn't heard about it. Yep. Anyway, that's his responses. Isn't it a fact, Mr. Secretary, that the number of illegal immigrants that you and President allow in our country counts for congressional district reapportionment? Senator, I'm not sure I understand your question. Of course he does. But I surely share with you that I disagree with its phrasing, Mayorkas responded. Senator repeated the question again. Same answer, Mayorkas, after stammering. He says, it's what Mayorkas did. I don't understand your question. The notion, Senator, that we intend to allow illegal immigration is nothing short of preposterous. It's respectful for the extraordinary hard work that we perform for far more importantly than the personnel, the Department of Homeland Security, and across the administration perform to stem illegal immigration. Yeah, what are they doing? They're stemming. It's just going up like crazy. So what's the senator say? He says, it's a fact, and you know it, and I know it, and there are more people you allow into the country illegally, more people are accounted for reapportionment. So even if they don't get to vote, what it does, it gets to change how many representatives certain regions get. And you can't tell me you don't, because that's been in the news, and he's been accused of that. And you've even heard from Elon Musk. It's everywhere. But he's going to sit there and act like he's never heard of it. People have, Elon Musk agrees with Ted Cruz on putting Homeland Security Secretary on trial. The precedent is crystal clear. It's not just enough to impeach him, put him behind bars. Now, guys, there's a lot more depth into this where I've gone into, because there was another article similar to what Media Matters put out by a couple authors. One of them was some Rockefeller guy talking about, well, there's no Hamas in Central America, there's no Hamas in Venezuela, all this is baseless. And I showed that article way back sometime earlier. And so I've got many videos on here that cover a lot of these topics, and including that where I went in and just laid out what's there, documented that Hamas is in Venezuela and all in Central America, that Iran has deep ties with the Venezuelan government. Iran sends weapons, lots of weapons, to Central America, Venezuela particularly. And in fact, some of these weapons that we seized from Iran and were donating to Ukraine were one of those shipments. Hidden agenda of immigration. Well, in this, I actually cited some of these issues. I don't remember which all ones I brought up now. It was 2 months ago. But one of the things I did do in there is I showed you guys the paper written by Cloward and Piven, I think it was 1964, his early 60s, where they called for opening the borders, allowing the immigration in, and allowing certain groups in. And they called for this and running the federal budget to the breaking point to break the country physically, financially, so that the system would collapse, so that it would promote their dream of setting up an international socialistic system, because they were promoting socialism. Now, and of course, some people are, well, they don't have no influence. And of course, I showed in there where they were standing behind, both Cloward and Piven, standing behind President Clinton when he signed the motor voter bill. Interesting. We don't need to vet voters, but by golly, you better have your papers, please, before you get on an aeroplane, even flying between places here in the United States. And here's another video I did showing you this T guy here who got across the border. Well, he got identified. He was the guy that says, you don't know who, you're too dumb to know who I am, but soon you will know who I am. That's what this guy told the guy with the camera that got him. Interesting. So, but no, there's nothing coming across our border. It's all baseless. Now, if you want to know what a threat it is to our nation if the power grid goes down, see my Green Greg's channel here. This was off my Swivelhead News channel. This is from my Green Greg's channel here, talking about the power grid and the risk to it. This is my playlist for, I need to clean it up because I got other topics in here that I thought might relate to a risk to our country. There's a lot of in here directly on the power grid itself. Interviews with Dr. Peter Vincent Pry. Oh yeah, if y'all didn't know, I've been in Russia. That's me in Red Square. With two fine ladies, one on each side of me, one of them Russian and one American. How to protect our homes from EMP. Saving the grid with General Ken Krasniak. Yeah. Who do I hobnob with? Generals, ambassadors. There's an ambassador in one of these videos. Ambassador Hank Cooper, who also was the head of the Department of Defense level organization, the SDIO, in charge of our strategic defense. He's in one of these videos, talking about how we actually get our grid hardened, working from the ground roots level. So I get a lot of information through high-level sources, but you know, what they tell me is not something I can show in a video. I can just talk it. I get a lot of information from high-level sources, but I'm showing you the articles that's out there. So you just go back in this video and find those titles and do a search on them, and you'll find those articles yourself. It's easy to do. So more grid down videos here. Much worse than nuclear war, but how to fix it. I've been focused on solutions. That's why I chaired 2 power grid defense conferences. I'm not just somebody coming in, oh, the sky's falling, woe is me. No, I talk about how to fix it, what to do. Also, how you can take care of yourself. Other things, small modular nuclear reactors, you know, for microgrids. Survive an EMP. What to do if it goes wrong. Lots of things in here, guys. Telling you better get you some manual tools if the grid goes down. Just lots and lots of videos. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Where's that? I don't see it here. A lot of people make a lot of assumptions that are in grave error when they talk, you know, when they don't know me and they see me put a little comment out. They jump to conclusions. I'm just putting it out there. And the whole thing I'm putting, what is that? Oh, that's the latest videos out there. Anyway, that's not what I want to say. So, and and some people automatically assume when you talk about border security, they automatically start assuming political things. Oh, I didn't want to search that there. I wanted to search it somewhere else. Jeez, come on. Not there. Search it off my channel. Go back, go back. Come on, stuck. Come here, good. We're over here. YouTube's freezing up. I must have too many things open. Let's just go ahead and use channel. Gonna help there. Let's do it here. We'll hit this bar here. You'll find a video on somebody's channel. That's not what I'm looking for. No. Oops. Certain video I'm hunting. It's not coming up. Sometimes I ask them 20 questions, gets me in trouble on both sides of the political aisle. Oh, come on. How come that ain't coming up? I'm going to type in the exact title. If they don't bring it up, I don't know what's going on. Wow. Well, I erased it. Okay, well, never mind that. Interesting. It's incorporating. Sorry about that for taking a bit here. There you go. Yeah, I asked a question here because he threw Julian Assange under the bus. He was friends with the Clintons. So I was just wondering, there's some people he didn't fire, like Dr. Alchi. Just a lot of things makes you wonder. Bump stock. Maybe he wasn't what we thought. Maybe he'll change us. So, people make a lot of assumptions and they do so in grave error. Anyway, stop the share. I care about this country. I care about the people in this country, mostly. I care about people anywhere and everywhere, all around the world. One thing I end a lot of my videos with is the pointing out the fact that there's good people of every race, creed, color, religion, and every village, shire, hamlet, city, county, state, and country around the world. I say that a lot in my videos toward the end when I'm just trying to remind people of things. This is not about racism. It's about controlling and vetting who comes into this country. It's about making sure that we don't have people come in here that mean ill will. There are people that mean ill will to this country. And if you don't believe that, you got your head in the sand. That's a nice fantasy land to live in. We can't afford that kind of fantasy in this day and time when a lot of people are hating us, in part because of things our government's doing, and some of them may not be right. But whatever the case is, hatred has been ramped up in this world. I also talk about that and say why we need to find a way to get around this and get through it. It's not about hate. It's not about racism. It's not about xenophobia. It's just about covering our bases to make sure that we're secure. If you don't believe in that, throw your doors wide open and leave them open. You shouldn't close your doors. You shouldn't lock your house. Don't lock your car. roll your windows down. Oh yeah, why you got a skin on your body? That's supposed to protect you from bugs that would invade you otherwise. So maybe you don't believe in skin. Close doors. Open your doors if you're not buying, if you're not picking up what I'm putting down. Don't ever lock your house or anything you own again if you don't believe in that. Holy Jesus, guys. I mean, it's all about being secure. It's all about making sure that we can protect our homes, our families, making sure that when we're in an age that we know people, listen, the head of the Iranian Republican Guard Corps of Iran was told, of course, that's redundant, Iranian of Iran. He was told by one of his people, look, the U.S. put out this report. The National Electric Liability Corporation published this report that said that if 9 out of 10 critical substations were taken down, it would take down an entire power grid. By that or not, it was a published report, and it was reported to him. And his comment to that, his reply was, 9, I've already got 20 targeted with sleeper cells in America. That's what he said. And that was years ago. Now we've got a lot more people coming across the border. How many more? What risk posture are we facing? How did that lab in Reedy, California get populated with all the bugs that hit? That's the one we found, and we ran into it accidentally. What else is in this country? How, if the CCP doesn't mean ill will, why have they targeted all our critical infrastructure with viruses and hacking? If they would do that, you think they wouldn't use the opportunity of open border? Sure, maybe they are sending a lot of regulars across the border, just normal people, so they can slip a few others in amongst them, using the cartels to flood certain areas so the Custom Border Patrol are just got their hands full over here. Then they pick other little venues, and this is how the drug cartels operate, get what they really want to get across, their own members. Oh yeah, one of those, I think I had a picture in there of somebody with MS tattooed. I probably didn't scroll down that picture, right on his throat. Now you think if somebody comes in with gang related tattoos that tell you exactly who they are, why don't we just say, well, come on in, come on in. Oh yeah, Marocos. I have seen a video, be it true or not, a video of some people that were at one of those facilities and where they're processing these people through in Central America, one of those camps, said Marocos was there. We also know that the Department of Homeland Insecurity and some of those federal departments have funded apps so that people could apply remotely from all over South and Central America to come in. We also, and that's been shown now, that the Biden administration is actually flying people because they can't get enough people across the border. Why? It may be for voter reapportionment, or could it be Cloward and Piven? Cloward and Piven called for all this to happen. So I could take this further, but for those that want to make accusations to me and my family, let's see, there was one accusation said, oh, your family come here, the Allison family, he just named the Allison family. He said the Allison family came here and took its land from the Indians. I'll have you know, the Allison family went to Northwest Georgia and bought land at a fair market price at that time. They actually paid a good sum for the land they bought directly from the Cherokee Indians. They settled right amongst the Indians, the first white settlers in the area. They lived among them. They mixed with them, intermixed. Most of the Allisons from that area, lots of them have very dark hair and very dark skin and brown eyes. Yeah, they lived peaceably among the Indians. You might know they were the 5 civilized tribes that lived down here at the time. They all lived the same way. They became part of that culture even. So whoever said that was dead wrong. I've got the history to back it up. So Yeah, watch accusations you make. Watch making accusations of xenophobia and racism, because I was married to a black lady from Kenya for a long time. We have a beautiful daughter together. I've got a Mexican granddaughter. Love her very much too. So watch your accusations. Don't just shoot in the hip when you don't know what you're saying. You don't know who you're talking about. You don't know where we're coming from. What is wrong with wanting security? What is wrong with wanting to vet who crosses the border? What is wrong with the idea that you want to not have people that want to destroy this country just be able to walk in unchecked? How about, you can tell me stuff about screening all day long. The screening is inadequate, and there's a lot of gotaways. So, yeah, even the questionnaire that they used to have for the some of these people come across used to be like 45 questions, and they've reduced it to 5 questions, just all kind of stuff. So, yeah, don't give me that. Don't give me that for 1 second. I ain't buying it. You're not going to convince me of that. And there's plenty of other people who see things the way I see it in that regard. So I'm not happy with the current administration because of this. This country is being taken down. Tucker Carlson asked a good question, and I think it rung with me. How can a party that hates America run America? Well, there's an answer to that. Straight into the ground. And you don't. Yeah, you want to argue those statistics too. Fine, but we can come together and have a peaceable conversation. We can have a discussion. That's needed, and I advocate that. But don't just come out of the gates and start shooting holes at us because you make assumptions of who we are and what we think. You're wrong. So I hope that my followers who don't believe that stuff, no, none of you do, no regular followers, share this video. Share it to the people on the other aisle, people who don't understand us. Oh, they'll probably get mad and come after me. Okay, fine. I'm a big boy. And I got thick skin, so I can handle it. But I'll sit down and peacefully talk with anyone. I understand the left. It's because when I was in high school, I was farther to the left than most of them by a long shot. But life taught me otherwise. So anyway, guys, I wish you all the best. If you watched the video this long, let me know and say, Greg, where's your Space Force cap at? Yeah, that's that Space Force something. Yeah, just ask that. I don't know, just something to give me an idea. Y'all watched the video this far. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching. And if you're from the other side of the aisle and you've watched this far, I'll thank you for watching the whole video. Absolutely. I say the other side of the aisle, the people who think like the people that attacked me on Facebook. If you think that way, I appreciate you watching this far. If you did, then salute to you. Maybe we can have a conversation. But, rather than me sit there and spend all day, I don't have all day to do stuff like post articles on the website. You got to do them one at a time, one at a time, one at a time. The heck with that. I put it all here. I put it here because I can reach more people this way. So thank y'all for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, bang the notification bell, and let's be civil about this. I'm just putting it out there the way so you understand where I'm coming from. This don't mean we got to start attacking each other. Holy smoke, guys. We got to cut that crap out. We got to quit attacking each other. Let's have some civil conversations. Anyway, and maybe we can start pulling things back together. Well, this country's on the verge of a civil war. The movie on that's about to come out. Holy smoke, guys. We don't need that. That's the last thing we need in this country. That's beyond imagination destructive. Anyway, thank y'all for watching. Greg out.